Evening all, Daniel Hand, RPG therapist, and we're back with a full-length episode. I mean, actually, it's an extra long episode because we're going to have another RPG therapist playthrough. As you may remember from my message, I think it was last week, I'm having to start everything from scratch video-wise, but I really wanted to get something up in January, New Year and all. And being as I hadn't actually seen Emily or Eric in over a year, I figured now was as good a time as any to reach out and have a chinwag. Sadly, Eric couldn't make it because he's moving house. Best of luck, mate. Ugh, I've been there this last year. Rather you than me. So it was just me, Charlene, and Emily. And the reason I've had to record this separate introduction is we were so excited to see each other again. We just started talking and I forgot to do one in the middle of the session. I'm a pro. So yeah, in this video, we're going to go through the character creation process for the Die RPG, written by Kieran Gillen, illustrated by Stephanie Hands, and published by Rowan Rook and Deckard. So you know it's going to be amazing. I'll probably do a deep dive in it at some point, just if I need to show you some of the illustrations, because it's beautiful. We were going to return to Avatar, but in my own move, somewhere along the way, I lost my notes. I'll turn up. Plus, we'd all forgotten the rules again because, it was over a year since we last played. So we'll get around to it again at some point. If only to do some actual bending. I don't normally do trigger warnings now, or spoiler warnings. I'm of the opinion that if people can't handle being told the end of a movie, then perhaps they shouldn't be on the internet. But being as this is ostensibly a channel about therapy geared towards therapists, I do feel obliged to say Die can get quite dark. In fact, one of the things I want to discuss with the others is the appropriateness or lack thereof of using this particular RPG with clients. Now, we had an absolute blast. I haven't laughed / shaken my head that much in quite a good while, but we do make plenty of dark jokes, especially about an off-screen, I must stress that, and entirely fictional motor accident in which an NPC dies. So if that's something you'd rather avoid, you can skip to the discussion at the end of the video. I'll put a timestamp in the description. Yeah, we had lots of fun, but it's a tender subject for some people. But with that out of the way, it's time for a bit of Die. I hope you enjoy this as much as we did. And yeah, if you've got any thoughts on the RPG or the session or how you might use it with clients, please do let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, enjoy and yeah. Yeah, so the game is Jesus heavy is what it is. But I've got the I sold my regular edition of it specifically so that I could buy the premium edition. The cloth, the slipcase is cloth. I mean, it is just not the book, the slipcase. It's but yeah, so it's called Die. It is based off of a comic series, which I've also got here, also called Die, which is so the story in the comic is about a bunch of kids who get together to play an RPG and then get sucked into the RPG world and then come out a couple of years later, massively traumatized by their experiences because, you would be. I mean, those kids from the D&D cartoon back in the 80s, I mean, they took everything in their stride. They really should have been sitting in the corner rocking backwards and forwards before your time, I suppose. and then the rest of the comic is about them about 40 years later getting sucked in again and having to re-deal with all of the crap that they left behind, because it turns out a bunch of teenagers running riot with superpowers has consequences. And
yes,
yeah, I mean, one of the first time they come out of it, one of them has lost an arm, for example. Just yeah, we're talking that level. The writer Kieran Gillen describes it as goth Jumanji, and yeah,
okay.
I can get behind that.
You know, I also feel like it's giving a little bit of Chronicles of Narnia. Like, you know, those kids came back from out of the wardrobe and were like, "This is effed up."
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, yeah,
I
no,
was
they
a
didn't,
king, and now
because
you're telling me I have to go to school, right? Like,
yeah, true. No, they came out Christian as hell. You know, they came out going, "Oh, I now get to school and I can go to Sunday school." That was how those kids came out, because Aslan is Christ and everything. Blah. But so I played this with some mates a while ago, and even if we don't play the game, because it is very much designed to traumatize the characters, and I don't know if we as therapists want to. No, we as players definitely.
Yeah.
Being as this channel is all about RPG, therapists, not entirely sure it's the kind of thing we would want to bring into the therapy. I mean, maybe we want to play it and you can tell me I'm wrong. You never know. But regardless, if we play it, the character creation process is just, it's a thing of beauty in and of itself. Sorry, what?
I said bonkers.
Yeah, that too. But the character classes are really interesting as well. It takes quote unquote traditional character classes like bards, fighters, and all that, and messes them up basically. So the bard is all about charisma, manipulating people's emotions in D&D. I cast calm emotion and all that. So the dictator in Die manipulates emotion not by playing a song that is depressing, but by going, you are now massively depressed, and or you are and their main quote unquote weapon is forcing somebody to emote themselves to death. So, if they're a joy dictator, they say, right, you laugh yourself to death, and the opponent does.
that's dark. I like it. That's great.
It's great. There's also, so the Godbinder is a cleric who basically makes deals with the gods. So instead of praying to the gods saying, please, I need this miracle, it's like, hey, God of death, if you get us out of here, I'll owe you a favor. And then the God of death can call in that favor saying, yeah, you know when I saved your life earlier? Yeah. You see that orphanage over there? Yeah. Set it on fire. And if you don't, you die. So yeah, and another really good one is the Emotion Knight, who gets talking weapon for a start, but has to feel a certain emotion in order to get all their magical attacks. So if you're a rage knight, you can't really kill your enemies unless you're absolutely furious. Or if you're a depression knight, you can't kill your enemy unless you're depressed. So it's messed up.
I love it. That sounds cool.
I thought you would.
I feel like I knew Emily would like this.
Yeah.
Listen, we all have an underbelly, right? So tap in.
And so ordinarily, another great thing about character creation is the players don't decide what character class they're going to get. The GM decides.
Oh yeah.
But we'll talk about that in a sec, because there is one character class that Charlene has to play, because she would never forgive me if I didn't give her that character class, which is it's called the Fool, and it's a character class which is basically a codified chaos gremlin. So think the mongoose lizard.
Oh,
incident.
yes.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Oh, I don't remember.
Bosco? No, it wasn't Bosco. What was it?
Bongo, Bobo.
Did it have a name? I can't remember that.
Oh, it had a name. It had a name.
I can't remember it, and I lost the character sheet. I don't know where it is.
I feel like it was Bosco, or is that an actual character from Avatar?
I have no idea.
You know,
yeah, that would one of the other reasons I said, like, why don't I didn't say let's pick up Avatar again, is because I'm in the move here. I couldn't find any of my notes, so I was like, so Bosco anyway. But yeah, so the Fool, basically, if the player doesn't behave like that, doesn't jump towards an ice cream van with their mongoose lizard, they suffer penalties. So yeah,
this is going to be an insufferable. Insufferable. There we go. Sorry, it's Sunday. I have no excuse. I'm rested too.
It's a day.
Yeah, it's an insufferable
every excuse.
Experience here. Everything we try to do. Here comes Charlene. Here we go. Sneak. No, you won't be.
No, one of the what's it called, advances you can make if you're playing a campaign with the Fool, is, where is it? Oh yeah, there you go. Don't give a bleep. That is literally one of the special abilities that a Fool gets, is don't give a bleep. Yeah, and I'll read it out. You're never directly affected negatively by any unfortunate fallout of your abilities. Any bad luck will only ever hurt people around you.
You are free from all accountability of all of your actions.
Thankfully, that is one of the last bonuses you can get, but that's the kind of theme they're going for.
That's kind of cool.
So, and so the way character generation works is, what you do, the game basically recreates the idea of the comics, where it's just a bunch of normal people getting together to play a game who then get sucked into the RPG. So actually, you don't create characters in the game world, you create characters in our world.
That are in the game world.
No, that they're in our world, and then we actually play the first scene as them in this world, and then they get sucked in.
Oh, okay.
So that's the process in a nutshell. As I say, because Charlene's already chosen her character class, I
didn't choose nothing. You chose it.
I think you remember a conversation at some point. Thank you. Don't try and shift it on me, Craig. Just because the character class doesn't suffer any consequences
doesn't mean I don't. Should we download? Do we need to download the rules or anything like that?
No, not at this stage, simply because actually it's the character creation process to begin with is all conversation based. You don't need any character sheets. You don't need don't need to know the rules. You don't get any stats to begin with. It's actually all very meta.
Okay.
I remember you saying that as part of the description, that like the character creation, everyone hears the nitty gritty of your character. Yeah, that's cool.
and actually we can help each other make decisions about the characters. So you might decide your character is married, and other people help give suggestions for how well the marriage is going or something like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
But again, being as we've kind of established that Charlene's got her character, is there any of those classes that you like the sound of, Emily? So you've got the Dictator, which is the bard who forces you to emote to death. You've got the Emotion Knight, which is a warrior who can fight literal armies by themselves if they feel their emotions strongly enough, and get a talking weapon. You've got the Neo, which is a cyberpunk rogue with an HUD and laser gun in the middle of this fantasy world. You've got the Godbinder, which is, like I say, makes deals with usually makes very bad deals with the gods.
Mhm.
I think that's it, because we've got the full token already. Yes. So
Okay.
did any of those speak to you, or?
Oh, they all seem really fun.
Yeah.
I like the idea of being the Godbinder. That sounds cool.
I thought you were gonna pick that one.
Yeah.
I was like,
If you haven't, I would have just like, next time I play it, I'm playing a Godbinder, because nobody else I've played with has played the Godbinder, and it just dark as all hell. But I mean, before we even get started there, the thing I really like about the character classes, I mean, like the idea as a therapist working with a client with a character class where they have to feel emotions in order for them to wipe out that band of goblins is like,
Yeah.
yeah, and you can quote me on that. Okay, so let me just. Okay, so I was coming up with two. There are two scenarios in this book. This is one of their little supplements, and I was going to do one called Childish Things, but I don't know if that is a bit too. It's content warning: childhood trauma, debt, possible harm to children. So it basically, the idea of that one is that you've got one sibling who is an annoying brat, and they're all moving house, and they've got to deal with the emotion of being a family like that. But the problem with that is it dictates that you are relatives. So one of you would be the popular sibling, for example. The other one would be one of the parents or the wallflower and all. And that, I don't know if we want to do that, because that feels a bit directive. I mean, we can if you want. The other one is a bit more straightforward, and I think it mentioned ADHD. Yeah, ADHD is an obstacle. So
sorry.
Okay, we're going with that one then, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
I suspected as much. I just thought I would give, because with the family one, you get sucked into a world of cuddly toys. You're fighting against giant teddy bears and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I figured ADHD. Let's go. Okay. Probably will need people to take notes for this one. I mean, I will obviously, but just you might want to remember. As I say, this is a bit more on the meta side, so
have my notes pulled up.
Yeah. And I'll also take notes on the side as well, so we can kind of all do that if need be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like, especially when it's like my own character, I like having everything kind of in front of me just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Right. Well, in that case, let us. He says, trying to not.
I'm so excited! I might get to use my new dice now. Let's go. My new die.
Oh, come on. If you got them with you, you're going to have to show us.
Yeah, here, I'll show you the 20. Hold on.
Ooh. Nice.
It's like barred, like, type of die. It's cool.
Nice.
They also, this with a, I think this is the 4. Yeah. Has like
The
a little dagger on it.
Ooh, look at that.
And like the texture of them is really, really cool. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I
It
was looking down. Sorry, show us that again.
The dagger one.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Ooh.
Don't mind my nails. Everyone who just watched that, I'm an anxious girly. So
I didn't notice.
it's all the YouTube people.
I don't think
There's any comments on this.
hey, there's my fingernails as well. There you go. Comments on my fingernails.
There we go. Yeah, comment on Dan's.
Okay, so I'll read you the overview then. You all used to play fantasy role-playing games together as teenagers. The GM had one house rule: no resurrections. Death is death. Magic has its limits, and some things are impossible. You all knew the reason why. Years down the line, you're all back in town and have decided to get together to play a game for old time's sake.
But we know we got pulled into a alternate universe.
No, so that hasn't happened yet. That is just
okay.
something happened as when
Got
you were
it.
kids. Now you're back together, going, hey,
Just play
yeah,
it.
let's play a game, and yeah, just as, for old time's sake, let's just enjoy it. And if I can find the okay, so now the entire process, we create the world, we create the characters, we create the relationships, is just through me asking these questions and choosing. So Charlene, being as I know you like being put on the spot straight away, why did the group get together? They were the only kids at school who'd even dream of playing an RPG. They were the arty kids from the drama society. They were detention kids and the smokers from behind the bike sheds, or something else.
So, okay, go through the options again. Sorry, ADHD.
Yeah. So they were the only kids at school who'd even dream of playing an RPG. They were the arty kids. That one.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the detention kids.
No,
from behind the bike.
That's too cool. I feel like for.
Oh, okay.
That's a little bit too Breakfast Club.
Yeah, okay. I feel like being the like RV nerds, fits a little bit more.
So we're already drawing from lived experiences. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless y'all want the detention one, we could do that
too. No. We can make anything work. So, Emily, what was the school like? It was an average comprehensive, an absolute shithole, an expensive private school, or something else?
It was a shithole.
Yeah.
Like no one's having a good time here. Popular kids not having a good time. Unpopular kids also not having a good time. We know the teachers aren't either. So everyone is just miserable. That is what the school is like.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the school have a name, or should we leave that and come up with that in a little while?
Do we want to come up with that collectively in a bit?
I love that. And if you get ideas for your characters' names throughout this, shout it out, and
okay,
we'll go from there. So the GM's persona. Oh yeah, I get a character in this as well. By the way, ran the game. What was the name of the fantasy world where our game was set? And it gives you some examples, but so the Eternal Empire of Athan, the Fields of the Zephyr Children, the Shadowlands, or something else. I don't know. how old are we going for these kids? If it was really young and, you know, enthusiastic, it would be, you know, the highlands of middle Narnia.
Yeah.
Or would we?
Yeah, how old do we want to be roundabouts?
I probably think like young teenager.
Like
'Cause, like,
13, 14?
Yeah, like 13, 14, because then you're like, that would make sense for them to, like, if that was like their first campaign, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, it would probably have a really earnest name, then, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah. The Adventures of the Rat Race. No, what was that? What was
I don't know, something like the Fields of Elysium or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say it's that, simply because that way, because we'll say that the kid he loves his Greek history and stuff like that.
There you go.
And if I could get the I and the E the right way around,
yeah,
that would help. And how many years has it been since we left school?
I'm getting a total flashback to it right now.
Right? Yeah, like 27 years. It's been 27 years.
I was going to say 27 years.
I mean, that would make us the age Charlene and I are now.
In our 40s.
So we can do that if you want.
Sure, 27 years.
Yeah, 27 years.
Okay.
So it would be 13 or 14 when we initially played, and then now we're around how old now?
41, 42.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys can hear me typing, I can mute myself. I'm sorry.
You're
fine. So yeah, if you have any ideas for a shithole school, I went to lots of shithole schools. I don't know what they're like in America, but
do we want to be like funny about it, or do we want to like have it just be like a very bland name?
Yes. If you can think of something funny, because in the UK, half the schools were Saint something or other. Saint Joseph, Saint Wolfram, Saint, you know, suck my dick, bad boy kind of thing. You know, it's.
See, ours is just.
I think I went to that one.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Because I was thinking, since we're saying it's like the shithole of a school, we could literally, it could be pronounced like Academy of like Bootville, but it's spelled BHUT, so everyone thinks it's pronounced butt when you don't know.
Yes.
But it's actually pronounced boot. So like everyone, you always have to correct people. It's pronounced boot.
Apart from according to everybody who goes there, including the teachers, from the sounds of it.
Mount Boothole.
Do we want to call it Mount Bootville, Academy of Mount Bootville?
Yeah, yes.
Something like that. BHUT.
Sounds French.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Bootville. There you go. See? Aren't you having fun already? So again, if you have any ideas for names of characters, by all means, speak now. But at the most basic level, how would people? I'll ask Emily this one. How would people think of you at school? You were the academic A student. You were the class joker. Just plain creepy. Bully, the jock, the wallflower, an elitist snob, the tech nerd, a hard case, or something else?
I'm so sorry. Can you give the choices again? I had like a little reaction to each one.
Yeah. So, academic A student, the class joker. Okay, yeah. So that's okay. Not that one because Charlene's gonna be that one.
So I'm answering for myself individually, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Just plain creepy.
I think I want to do that one.
Yeah, I
especially if I'm like, being meta, especially being the god binder. Like, I feel like a stable like person would not be that. So I'm a creep. All right.
I'm a creep. Yeah.
The hell was that?
That was TLC's creep.
I got it.
Okay. And do you want me to run through the options, Charlene, or are we just saying the class clown?
I just figure with the fool being the fool that it fits.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's I think what the writers were going for, but you never know. You might want to buck the trend.
Well, yeah. Give me all the options.
I've already written class clown down. Come on.
Okay.
You've got the academic A student, the class joker, just plain creepy, a bully, a jock, a wallflower, an elitist snob, a tech nerd, a hard case, or something else.
It's a hard case.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
I'm thinking it just means a bit of a nut job, a bit
like stoic, like taking things too seriously.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah,
that could be interesting. But
yeah, I'll stick with a joker, but maybe next time.
Okay, so Emily, the just plain creepy, that's the stereotype of you. In what way are you different from the stereotype?
In what way am I different from actually being creepy?
Yeah, so people just think of you as kind of that,
right.
But how are you different?
How might I not be that? I think maybe what people could mistaken as being creepy is like maybe I'm very like observational. Like I watch people and I observe them. And I mean, if someone's just in the corner like staring, that is creepy. But like to me, I'm not trying to be creepy. I'm just like sizing up like maybe what I want to do next, and just it's more of like an observational type of thing for me. Does that sound like it could be interesting enough?
Your character, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Oh, we can also build together too. So like, does that sound like it could be all right?
Yeah.
And when the GM's character invited you to the game, why did you decide to join?
My character, why did I decide to join?
Yeah.
Probably because it was the only person who maybe sought me out for connection. Like that's something that's rare for me. So maybe I was interested in that of like, hey, like for the first time someone observed me. And so now I'm going to join their group. They sought me out.
I love that. That's cute.
Is it?
What did you love and hate about playing the game with the rest of the group? I'll tell you what. No, before we answer that one, how we go, Charlene.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about that. I feel like that would be helpful.
Yeah.
So, Charlene, you're the class clown. How are you different the class joker? How are you different from that perception? Oh no. Sorry, I just saw the look on your face. I'm like, oh god, no. Whatever it is, just say no.
Yeah.
Stop it. Get some help.
What?
Stop it. Get some help.
I think I would say like if people got to know me better, that I would have. I'm a little bit sadder and more like dark than what people think I am.
Okay.
So like, you know, listening to like emo music and or like hard screamo or something like that. And like people do not expect that from the Joker.
Okay. And yeah, why did you decide to come and play the game?
Because I like to
No,
here's
not you. We're talking about the
No,
character here.
No, I know, but because I want to cause chaos wherever I can. Like this is a new
We are
opportunity.
talking about the characters.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. The character wants to cause chaos wherever they can, just to be, just to be the fun guy. And so, like, they're gonna need the fun guy in this game. So I'll be that.
Okay. So you're kind of playing the role to fulfill their needs.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. And so, yeah, what did you love? So this one to both of you, what did you love and hate about playing the game with, the rest of the group, i.e. each other and me? From the sounds of it, my character is the archetypal nerd, who, if he's going to call his world the Fields of Elysium, he's well into his Greek mythology. He probably just sits at home reading encyclopedias. So, and if we're going to say that maybe Eric might want to join us at some point, we could say, but if to begin with, what we're saying that your characters loved and hated about this game.
The game itself, or the people we're playing with, or both?
Both. Just the experience of being part of this group of people playing the game.
That's a good question.
Yeah. And I'll throw it out then. So as well. So what were your interests? Sports, TV shows, books, games, comics? Name favorite. I mean, when is this taking place, do we think? Because if it was 27 years ago, I mean, unless we're going to play in the future, then it has to be, 90s.
I think that fits.
Okay. So this would have been, I mean, I can't remember exactly when different editions came out, but what, 3.5?
Yeah.
Or some, Palladium game like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Or MERP, or, But yeah, so we've got kind of the opposite ends. We've got the super observational, I'm here to see what's happening, and the super, I'm going to destroy as much as I can. We've got the murder hobo versus the I'm here because people recognize me here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, I think my character wants it to be silly and not serious and stuff like that, because that's too close to home. That's not where I want to go. But I feel like your character as the GM is going to bring up all of the dark stuff and fantasy and, stuff like that. So like, I'm trying to be over here being like, oh, look at me, I'm going over here for a cookie. Yeah. And then you're like, no, that is not what's happening.
And what did you hate?
That I actually had to like, oh, this is even better. That I actually had to get into the character's emotions, like, and think about emotions, period. Like,
okay.
you as the GM, you made me think, and maybe I don't even know, and maybe Emily's character or player character says, you know, like if they notice, like maybe at some point they looked at me and be like, you have a pretty thick mask on there, don't you? Because I think your character would notice that. You know what I mean?
So what was difficult with playing a game? So I actually think what was difficult and what I loved about the game for my character was maybe the same thing. And that it was a consistent friend group, almost like a home I could come back to, right? Like I knew these people would be here. I was coming to do this thing with them, and it was this set activity. And on some end, I think my character really liked that because it was like a guaranteed place where I'm me, and that's okay. Alternatively, I think because my character loves to observe so much, it's because I like to see differences and what's going on. So sometimes I wonder if that felt stagnant, of like, I want more than this. Does that make sense?
So the lack of change, it's like, can't we get some new players here or something like that?
There was comfort in the fact that these are my people, but then it's also like, and I want more. Not that these people aren't enough, but rather like not a wandering eye either. I don't exactly know how to describe it, but like, I think my character is, like, to add kind of a bit of a trait on there too, is a bit ambitious or opportunistic. That's a better way to put it. Opportunistic. And so sometimes sameness is difficult. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And do either of you have any ideas for names at this stage? If the answer is no, that's fine. But just, I mean, also genders, sexualities, anything like that. You know, are you both playing female characters, male characters? What's back in the 90s? We weren't quite as. I don't know if we're forward thinking even these days, but even back then, it was somehow worse than it is now.
Yeah, I think just she, her for me.
That's interesting. Well, not for your character. I'm just saying, I'm trying to think for mine. I'll go with she, they pronouns. As for sexuality, even though we're in our adulthood now, right? Because like now our characters are theoretically adults. I think even still, I think all of that would be very ambiguous for my character. I think that's something that's kind of a constant figuring it out, if that makes sense.
Cool. And yeah, any thoughts on on interests, books, TV shows? I mean, I'm not going to ask you how young you are, Emily, but I know you're younger than us, but Charlene and I remember the 90s. I'm not entirely sure if you would.
So I'm a 95 baby.
Okay.
No,
thanks.
do not remember that.
You're asking about like Dragon Tales.
You're old.
I mean, we could pull it into the, into the 2010s.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm trying to think. I mean, let me.
Baywatch. Thunder in Paradise.
I'm gonna go. Are You Afraid of the Dark? This is my favorite show.
Okay. Did you have any particular favorite episodes / types of episodes?
Oh goodness.
I mean, I'm not asking you to remember specific episodes.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to pick from the ones I do remember. The clown one where they stole the nose and the clown's spirit like came chasing after them into their house and shit and like started like poltergeisting them basically. Like that was a really good episode. The one that freaks me out the most though is the abandoned pool one where they found an abandoned pool and was like, hey, let's open this back up. And there was like some sort of monster living in the pool that would pull people down and drown them.
Okay. Emily, how about you?
Favorite show, my character's favorite show.
Favorite show, favorite books, favorite music, just an interest, something that kind of was there them time.
I think my character would be really into like this is a dumb question. You guys will have to check me on this. Was like Satanic Panic happening around this time?
Satanic Panic was mostly 80s, but yeah, there have always been people who
right. I'm not saying I'm into that. My character's into that, but I'm thinking like into kind of like the occult and like witchy things, and maybe her favorite show, because I know a show during the 90s was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right? So I think she'd be into something like that, and kind of more of like into paranormal kind of stuff.
Okay.
Which I don't think was like a very popular thing to like back then, right?
Oh no, but no,
right.
Yeah,
That makes kind of like others.
Everything was about witches. There was a certain period in the 90s where witches were everywhere. You had Practical Magic, Charmed, Buffy, Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, that's true. You're right. That was all 90s.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was pop culture witchcraft, not actual witchcraft, if that makes sense. So if you were like tarot and like throwing runes and bones and shit, like people would freak the fuck out.
Yeah, like she's like, my character's the person that's like taking pen and like writing on her fingers and has like cool symbols and stuff like that. Oh, those must be like satanic symbols that you're writing on your arm, not, oh, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Right, exactly. Like it's like there's what everyone else likes. Like people's like, oh, she likes Buffy, no big deal. But I'm like, no, I love Buffy. Like you don't understand. And it just goes a little too far. So. Yeah.
See, my favorite spell in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, well, I had two, and I love them. And I now realize that the reason I love them is because it was exactly the kind of shit I would do. One episode was the bullies. Was it Libby? Was that her name? The bully girl. Yeah. Sabrina just turned one of her socks a different color, so she was wearing odd socks. And this girl was all about trends and style and fashion, and I would totally do that. And another one, the same girl, she just made a monkey appear on her shoulder that nobody else could see. And if I had magical powers, I would be trolling the shit out of everybody.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the world would not be safe. Okay.
I definitely think my character's also into like screamo or something like that. Something that's unexpected for a Joker.
Do you think your character's like open about liking in that, or is that more something that they keep to themselves? Okay.
I think it's something they keep to themselves.
I don't even know what screamo is.
It is just basically, like corn and like,
Cool. So, I'm just gonna check. So, Charlene. If I can find the damn thing, distracted. So, here we go. Why did nobody realize you had ADHD? Because it was the 90s.
Yeah, because I was a female in the 90s. Again, this is a little bit closer to home, isn't it? Just because I, was the funny one, like that was just my personality. I talked too much, but I wasn't bouncing around the room necessarily. But I was the verbally impulsive one, I guess is the better way to say that. And just like funny and trying to get attention that way instead of,
See, I love that we immediately went into answer that one. I didn't even bother reading out the options that the book gives, but I'll read them just for conversation's sake.
Yeah.
So, why did nobody realize you had ADHD? People just dismissed me as a bad kid being bad. My parents just didn't believe it. I was really good at masking it or something else. And so, we've given an answer, but if you want to modify it with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably got in trouble a lot if I'm like the class clown, like impulsively, like, that's what she said.
Again, we're talking about the character, not you. Come on.
Yeah.
We've got to work on this balance here because I need to be able to talk to you outside of characters.
No. So I literally, since it's been revamped, I literally would do the I need TP for my bunghole. The Beavis and Butthead.
Cease.
That would be my signature. And I would put my I need TP for my bunghole. And I think everybody in the class laugh.
Are they laughing with you or laughing at you? Is the real question.
Both. And I get sent out of class a lot for that. But most of the time I did it when I was uncomfortable or didn't know an answer or something like that. As a distraction.
Divert.
And your report cards say you're the definition even of underutilized potential. How? I was really smart. I had a poetic turn of phrase. I was incredibly kind, except when I forgot people existed, or something else.
I would be if I would just apply myself more.
Woof.
I told you this is getting too close now.
Yeah.
I could do amazing. I could get straight A's if I just apply myself more or focus more, be more disciplined.
Oh, typical. So, Emily, your character is obviously very observational, kind of creepy, ambitious. How would you describe them? Would you describe them as something like a frustrated artist, powerless against people who persecuted you, or you were constrained, you had to be good?
Ooh. Can you give me the first two again?
So you were a frustrated artist, you were powerless against people who persecuted you, or you had to be good, you were constrained.
I know I don't want to do the third one, but I'm stuck.
And if you don't mind, just because I've just had a pint and a half of tea, I'll leave you to think about that, and I'll see you back in a moment.
Sounds good. Okay. So Charlene, what do you think between those first two?
No, what were the first two? Sorry, I was.
It's okay. No. It was feeling. The one was I'm powerless against those who like wrong me or like are against me, And then the other one was I'm like a frustrated artist. I'm pretty like they're very contrasting, I feel.
Yeah,
and I like them both. I don't really like the third one. That feels a little too like
yeah.
You know, but
I mean, I kind of like the artist one because then you could play with that, like what type of art, what does it look like, and if nobody knows about it, is that something we find out about you?
Okay, that's interesting. Right.
You know
So it's like this like hidden like kind of creative side.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like nobody knows it because you're creepy and you know.
It would be so creepy as if I was a character that like I draw the people I observe, and so there's just like
Yes,
random pictures of everyone.
Oh my god, yeah, that's what you have to do. Somebody like looks in your book and it's like they open it up to like the page that they're on, and it's like it's highly detailed. It's not like it's just like a caricature. Like I would imagine
it's like actually disturbing. Okay.
Like
I draw the people I observe like afterwards. Like I'm not drawing while I'm doing it. Afterwards. Like, and you said that maybe like have it like maybe the part of the reason I have like the creep not stigma, but like reputation is because maybe like I'll be drawing in class and people have seen like, why are you drawing Amy? Like she's not even here. Okay, great. All right, so we came up with an answer.
Okay.
Dan. So it's gonna be I'm the frustrated artist. And what we came up with is that part of me like observing and being silent and like watching people is I have this like creative side where I draw a lot. So afterwards, I actually draw the people who I have observed. And maybe the extra reason for the creep reputation is because maybe one day at school I was just like doodling or not drawing in class, and someone saw that like I've been drawing like students at the school.
Okay, yeah, that.
And they're like very good. Like these drawings are very detailed and very good.
Like you get the mole that's right, next to the like on the person's cheek. Like
you can see pores like in these.
Okay, so you've answered the first question for that then. What made you think you'd never make it? So you wanted to be an artist from the sound of it, but why did you think you'd never get there? I didn't have the right connections. I just wasn't hot enough. I was a ridiculous perfectionist, or something else.
We could really make her so OCD if we wanted to. You don't have to though. Can you say the first choice again?
Yeah, so you just didn't have the right connections.
Ooh, I think that one kind of ties in nicely to this idea of a character that is trying to connect with these higher beings that do these things. So I like that idea of like the I just don't have the right connections.
Oh my gosh. What if people think you are like doing voodoo shit?
Oh, I think that absolutely. So not only am I drawing them, maybe I put like runes and shit around them, or like on their face, like you see like a pentagram or something.
You're gonna end up in the counselor's office, 100%.
What's the creep reputation? But like, it's really not like, and like the thing is, I think might be the unfortunate part is like I'm actually maybe like a very nice person. It's just like I'm into what I'm into. And I draw what I draw. Like there's no, it's not like I'm writing like a hit list or anything.
No.
In the school. It's just that's what I do. And
I feel like the runes and words, it would be like just personality traits or character traits or whatever of the person that you're drawing. You know what I mean? But if it's in like runes or, something like that, it could be misinterpreted.
Yeah. I like that. This is cool. I like that. I like this so far of it being a collaborative character build. That's really, really cool.
Absolutely. I've noticed we haven't done much on my character because my character just seems to be a bit
dark,
a blank slate at this stage. Do either of you have any names at this stage? I've got no idea why, but I was going to call
your 90s names. Emily, 1995. Actually, no, I guess it would have to be like an 80s name, like 19.
Yeah.
Kate. Kate was a big name back then. I think people call me by my last name. I don't think they call me by my first name. Like,
Okay.
you know how like you're like when you like connect with somebody or whatever, but they're like the joker, you know, the person that gets all the attention and stuff like that. You don't call them by their first name. You call them by like, you know, whatever shortened of the last name is. I'm trying to think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see here. I literally just looked up most popular names of the 80s here.
I'm gonna go for Mark for mine, just because
okay.
The image that came into mind from that era was a kid I knew called Mark. And I just think that he's just kind of the archetypal nerd who is, it's more like he found this thing that he really thought was cool. It enabled him to geek out about all of his mythology, King Arthur, ancient Greece and all that, but realized, well, I can't play this by myself. I need a bunch of people. And right, well, nobody else is going to play, so I'll ask these bunch of nerds because, sure, everybody else is just going to laugh at me.
Yeah. I'll be Nicole.
Ooh.
Shout out Nicole if you're watching this. That's one of my best friends.
Yeah, right. That's my middle name. So
I was going to say, yeah.
Called it, definitely.
And Charlene, your people call you by your surname, but yeah, go on.
I'm thinking short man or shorty.
Shorty, yeah. So short man, shorty. What is your first name?
It's something real like plain, like Kate. We'll go with Kate.
We're not, to all the Kates out there, we are not saying that your name is plain.
Yes,
there was a series of movies. Was it back in the 60s or 70s? It was a must have been 70s. Spy movies written specifically to be anti-James Bond, and the character was supposed to be really boring. Just the opposite of Bond. But the book it was based on, the character was just never named. He was an unnamed protagonist throughout the book. And so when they were writing the film, they had to come up with a name for the character. And there were three of them, I think, in the room. And one of them said, right, we've got to come up with what is the most boring name you can think of? And the other bloke just said, Harry? I said, yeah, Harry. Harry was the name of the third bloke in the room, and he was something like the producer or something like that.
That's funny.
The Harry Palmer films, they've got Michael Caine in them when he was, baby faced. Is really good. Okay, so remember right back at the beginning, there was that weird house rule about no deaths, no reses, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, that weird house rule, we all know where it came from. Prior to us all playing RPGs together, someone close to my persona, with this level of character creation, the characters called personas rather than characters, but yeah. Okay. Prior to us all playing the RPG together, someone close to me died. Someone we had all had at least some connection with. Who? Was it a sibling, a parent, a lover, a friend, or someone else important enough that my character never really got over it?
A crush. So it wasn't like because we're like what, 13, 14? Love's a little much, but like what if it was a crush that you never verbalized but everyone knew about?
Could be. Would that really mess you up before? I mean, I I didn't do crushes when I was at school.
Could it also be, okay, what if it was a crush that was also like your next door neighbor? So like not only was maybe later on their feelings about that, but like you grew up next to this person. You went to the bus stop with them all the time.
Yeah,
So
like
there's
you've
also just
noticed.
like that felt void of like that person that used to live next to you, even regardless of feelings, is now no longer there. That bus stop has one less person.
Oof.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, like you've known each other since you were like in diapers type stuff.
And real quick, I forgot the names you guys came up with for each other.
So we've got
Charlene, what's your character's name?
Kate Shorty, and Mark. Oof.
Mark. Marks. So people call you by Shorty?
Yeah, that's my fun name. People usually call me Shorty.
Love that.
Okay, so that's where the house rule came from. Life is finite, so if you die, that's it. Job done.
And what stinks about that is then if your character dies from the campaign, then you lose a friend. Well, was your GM okay with people creating another character to join on, or were they now out of the game, out of the group?
Oh no, I imagine.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, because he's only got so many people who would be willing to play it. So he's not going to say, okay, your character's dead, get lost. But
okay, cool.
That's it. Yeah, roll up a new character sheet between. We'll go and get snacks. You go and do your paperwork.
Right. Okay.
So what do we think this person's name was?
Kelly.
Helen.
Kelly. But okay, Helen works too.
Yeah, Kelly. Kelly is like a huge 90s name.
Kelly, okay.
If your character's straight.
They're not.
Okay.
Tell us about you, Mark.
Yeah.
Again, I think, as I said, I get the feeling that before the group, he was a bit of a loner, just didn't really interact much with the people around him, kind of was very introverted, just was happy doing his own thing. The kind of, I mean, I don't know how easy to access your school libraries were, but we were banned from our school libraries.
What?
A few of the schools I went to, you were not allowed in the school library. You were only allowed in the school library as part of class.
Oh, yeah. So that you didn't have.
Whereas a couple of schools I went to, the library was open for lunch. So if you wanted to, you could go in there.
Yeah, we did not have that.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair.
I got a few detentions for going to the library when I shouldn't have. Well, it's because I forged a pass. It's a whole thing.
Okay, wait a minute. You're that much of a nerd that you forged a pass to go to the library.
Oh no, get ready for this. I forged a pass because I had to quick last minute finish a project for a different class that I was in. So I forged the class to go. But the kicker of this story is that the teacher I forged their signature for was out that day. And so the librarian's like, is Emily here? Like my full government name. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And I already knew she caught me. So I just gave in. I was like, yep, I forged the pass. Like and beat her to the chase. And I think she got even more mad that I beat her and like just admitted to it. So they're like, you get a Saturday detention. And I'm like, what? So whatever. Good times.
I salute you. That is. I just got into tons of punch ups at school. I never did anything that cool.
Was that cool? Was it?
I think it's cool. I wish I'd done that. But yeah, but this is the kind of guy who would ask to go to the library just to,
To go.
Yeah. And then, when he discovered this D&D thing or this RPG thing, whichever it was a case of, okay, well, I can do so much with this, but if I want to get the full experience, I need to get some friends together.
Okay.
And then I think, obviously, I suspect he jumped into himself as a result of this person, Kelly, dying. How did she die?
She got hit by a bus is the first thing
Why was I thinking the same thing?
That's where we all went instantly. That is where we all went.
We all never the same. Final Destination too much. Was that girl's name Kelly? I will be freaked out if the actual character's name was Kelly that got hit by a bus in Final Destination.
Look it up right now. That's funny.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, so Kelly got hit by a bus, and this kid was like, sorry?
And it was a school bus.
That's dark.
That
No, apparently the lady that got hit by the bus in Final Destination, the character's name was Terry Chaney.
Okay. Kerry.
Terry.
Oh, Terry. I was going to say, if it was Kerry, that's only a couple,
Yeah, only words off.
Okay, so Mark, he was probably outgoing, just nothing special, but then this happened and he just kind of went in on himself. And maybe that's why the teachers kind of let him, gave him a free pass to go to the library and do it. Oh my god, what have you thought of?
That's why you can't ride school buses anymore.
Holy shit. That's messed up. And you're laughing about it, you sicko. What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
The bus stopped, but the bus didn't stop for Kelly.
Oh god, was he there?
Yeah, he saw it happen.
Oh no.
Oh god.
100%. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
It's messed up.
Oh my! I knew it was a bad idea inviting her along.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think prior to him witnessing the death of the girl he grew up with, crushed on, and being turned into a pancake in the middle of the road, he was just your average, just eminently normal, and just bleh. But then it was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's taking this hard. Yeah, let's just give him what he wants. And then maybe the RPG stuff was actually him starting to come out of his shell a little bit. And so that's why the school said, okay, yeah, just pick a couple of friends and we'll give you won't have to forge the library pass. Yeah, we'll give you the library pass and go off and be mentally stable. Yeah, hey, yeah, because again, the 90s, teachers didn't have a clue how to look after traumatized kids. I mean, they still don't. But back then, certainly the schools I went to, if you were traumatized, you got re-traumatized every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if we want to really just I think the school itself being like a miserable place, we could really run with that too.
Yeah, because let's face it, butthole,
So like if
mountain
schools are that
butthole.
miserable, they don't want to be dealing with this either. Like, dude, just go to the library. Like, do what you got to do. Like, you know. So.
I like that. Mount Buttville.
Yeah. Could we please have Kelly's last name be Spatz, Spatz? But because of how she died, everyone calls her Kelly.
No! Oh my! I mean, yes, obviously, but oh my god!
Yeah, that's bad. That's so bad. Kelly Spatz, Spatz.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
By bus, everyone calls her.
Oh god.
It's snowing here. What did you just add to it? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, this is bad. So Charlene,
This is so
the
bad.
name of his...
I apologize, Charlene, in advance. Emily made me do it.
So the name, Kelly's full name is Kelly Spatz, Spatz. But because of how she died, everyone in school, like low key, calls her Kelly Splats.
Perfect.
There we go.
Okay. And the final question, and this is one for all of us. The thing which made your teenage years a mess. So, I've already forgotten the name. Shorty had the ADHD, didn't apply themselves, a lot of potential, but just never made it. Nicole's stunted artistic endeavors. And the thing which made your teenage years a mess, you would hope that it would be better by now. So this is years later.
Okay, so present day.
I just realized, instead of asking the second part, okay, yeah, sorry. So years pass. This is now 27 years in the future. You would hope that it would be better by now. It's not. It impacts your life and certainly contributed to you not achieving what you hoped. How? So we got together because, well, from the sounds of it, the group was kind of engineered by the teachers to be a support group for Mark, even though they didn't realize it. So, hey, maybe that was foresighted of them,
Yeah.
But there was still a bunch of outside. Oh God, no! What?
No, I just said Kelly Splat in my head again.
Yeah.
Kelly Splats. Kids suck, man.
Yeah, kids suck because an adult would never come up with a joke like
well,
that.
But then here's the thing. Like every now and then, you just know a teacher like might refer to her and then slip up and go, "So Kelly Splats." I mean Kelly Splats. You know they screw it up by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why is it still a problem? How has it gotten in the way?
I mean, I can ask you some follow-up questions to help us decide things, and then maybe you can say that. So,
yeah.
And again, we can do this as a group. So, but it's got things like, so tell me about your life now. What do you do? Are you married? Are you dating? Are you single? Divorced? Kids? What is your biggest responsibility in your life? And how does that affect your life for better or worse? So we'll stick with those for now. And again, if we just keep in mind, how did the difficulties we spoken about earlier, how do they play a part? So anybody want to go first? I've got this feeling that Mark has had a string of really bad relationships. Just kind of trying to fill the hole that was splattered.
Woof. That's sad.
And obviously the girls in question weren't very happy with trying to be shoehorned into that role, and so it inevitably ended, and probably quite badly. You know, every time they left, that was another death, essentially. So he's just constantly re-traumatizing himself, trying to get into another relationship, and then obviously seeing that fall to pieces and just never getting past it.
Yeah.
And obviously I think he's just going to have a really dull, depressing job that's just monotonous day in, day out. And then he just goes home to, depending on which part of the cycle he's in, either to sexy fun times, really big arguments as the relationships fall into pieces, or just an empty house.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, but my girlfriend didn't turn into the moon. She got splattered. She might be on the moon, but she didn't get turned into it.
It's bad. I like to think that Nicole, as odd and like eccentric as she is, like when she hit her 20s, she got like a glow up unintentionally, but somehow she like grew into her features or something, and now she's like very conventionally attractive. But because she was never like, she never had that quote like pretty privilege, right? So I don't think she knows how to handle people and that privilege that comes along with it. Not that she like doesn't think the people are nice or anything. It's just like she's not used to navigating in a world where now people actually seek her out. People are going to talk to her at the bar and things like that. And so it like she doesn't get to have that like quiet anymore where she got to just observe. Now people just readily come up to her, and it's like not bad nor good, but like very different than what she was used to. I would imagine relationship wise, I probably dated both genders. But like doesn't necessarily have like an interest yet in settling, or like that's just not something that's a huge priority in her life. It's a great like part to it, but it's not like a priority. So maybe that's been a turnoff for some people too.
Okay. And how does the frustrated artist play into that? Is she still doing it? Has she had some success?
I think she's had just enough success to have tasted what it might feel like, but not consistent success. So it's still very like up and down and stuff. And I'm actually going to pose this question to you guys. Do you think she's aware that she is now more conventionally attractive?
Ooh.
Like, does she know she's hot now?
It'd be kind of more fun if she was confused.
Okay.
You know, in like, well, at least for that, like, why are they treating me like that? I don't get it. Like, since she never like grew up with it, wasn't used to it, probably didn't even know it existed up until, a certain time. Is she still in that transition phase of understanding why people are treating her different?
Yeah.
Cool. And Shorty.
Yeah, so I'm over here debating a few things. So I think Shorty went and got some job. Like I'm thinking accountant or like some like monotonous like day-to-day job because they thought that's what they were supposed to do to succeed. You know what I mean? To like live your full potential, because I never lived my full potential type of thing. But I think secretly, I just added, I think secretly they go out and do like dark comedy, like at like mic nights, like open mic nights. But they like don't want anybody to know it's them. So they like have a mask or, you know, something like that on. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Daniel, I'm thinking
literally masking.
Yeah. I'm thinking the mask from Digital Circus, the character with that mask.
Oh my God. No, why would you do that to me?
I will send a link in the chat to what that looks like.
Please don't. Please don't. I don't know.
It's like a comedy mask. You know the comedy masks where like one's laughing and one's crying? Like it's kind of like that, only it's like crying, I think, constantly or just sad constantly.
I would say, Emily, you should watch Digital Circus because it's very clever. It is messed up as all hell. Yeah, so you'd love it.
I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, we love it. We watch it.
Do we?
Yeah.
I endure it. Love is a very strong word for my feelings toward that show. I come away traumatized every episode.
But yeah, like a mask like that and just like a hoodie. Like not like real fancied up. So I don't even know that people might know their gender.
Uh-huh. So okay.
So it's like this persona that they've built because their life is so goddamn boring and monotonous.
Okay. See, the other thing about me taking notes is I can't read my own handwriting.
That's why you're typing it.
So, Academy of Mount Bootville. Bootville. It's Boothville. Yeah, whatever. But Butthole Academy is having a reunion. When the invite to the reunion arrived, what made you not want to come? And why did you come anyway?
Do our characters remember that we were sucked into the game?
You weren't sucked into the game. This game was just
a regular game.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry.
Okay. No, sorry, I oversold the comic. No, for our characters, it was just an RPG.
Okay. Okay.
It was just, got together in the library at lunchtime, pushed some miniatures around the grid, and yeah. And then went out. Either of you got any ideas of
why we would not want to go to the reunion?
Yeah, and then why did you come anyway?
I think maybe I might be embarrassed that my job is so boring, or like that I went that route when people knew I was kind of like, you know, funny and witty and stuff like that. But I still went because I think it would be an opportunity to be that again without the mask on.
I would say for Nicole, even though she still does not quite understand that she is conventionally attractive now, she does realize that like people are nicer in this life that she has now. But she definitely remembers what it was like to be in Mount Bootville. And she remembers that, like, I didn't like the way I was treated here. Like these people were like, people would not treat me nicely, regardless of the way I'm treated now. So I think that would be a big reason why. I would be like, I didn't like the way I was treated.
Yeah.
Then that's like not fun. Why would I want to be around these people? But then that entails, or that brings me, I should say, to the next reason, which is why I did come, was because of you guys, right? Like, so although these people treated you poorly, there was a group of people who did not. And that maybe is worth coming to the reunion.
And what did you think when my persona invited you to play a game at the reunion? And that is, I believe, the last question. Oh, no. If playing online, unfortunately, the reunion was cancelled. The GM's persona arranged this game online instead. What did you think about it? So yeah, you were going to go to the reunion, but then for some reason it got cancelled. But then my character said, "Hey guys, I was really looking forward to seeing you. How about we play an online game just to, catch up, see what life's like?" What did you think when I reached out to you?
Well, I have something.
Okay.
So I think we probably early 90s, right? Like not far afterwards, maybe we connected like on Facebook or MySpace to keep in contact with each other, but not like, calling each other every month or, anything. Just kind of like, looking at your feed, what has been happening in your life type of thing. And I think maybe my character noticed his in and out of relationships. Like, okay, all of a sudden we're in a relationship. You know how you could put like in a relationship or like engaged, or now you could put like complicated. You know what I mean on it. I think like yours went from like all over the place, single to complicated to all those when you're talking about your relationships. So I think when you asked me, maybe I felt a little sorry for your character.
Oh no. Dang.
Also considering, I know the reason why more than likely you're going through all those relationships is because of Kelly. So I think I might have been like, yeah, I definitely will do this for him. He seems like he's really excited about it. He needs it. Let's do it.
Oh.
But really, underneath, I'm the one that needs it, obviously.
Of course.
I think Nicole, they would be like, I keep tying it back to connection, but I think that actually, the more I'm thinking about them, it fits. You guys were the only people that were like nice to Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, like, even though people are nice to me now,
yeah,
there's something like, of course I would. given the opportunity. I also just kind of created a little bit of a like a story in my head for Nicole of like I said earlier, like she briefly experienced like artistic fame, but it was when Tumblr had its heyday, and so she like went viral for like posting her art and stuff. Briefly had commissions and everything like that, and then now obviously Tumblr is like not really as popular anymore. So that's kind of what I just envision a little bit of in my head is like she had her.
So were the other characters aware that she had her heyday?
I think that's cool. Like you guys maybe knew and was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, especially like if we're already connected on social media, I'm sure you would have posted, hey, check out my Tumblr, you know.
And like maybe that was connected to like a website where I did sell my art and stuff, and that did very well. So there. Yeah. Do you think one of you guys maybe bought a piece of my art?
I think so. Well,
like a T-shirt even that had something on it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And that is character generation.
That's cool.
So again, regardless of whether or not we play the game, it feels like we might after that. That when I played this with my mates, it was a case of we have to talk about this. We have to do this as therapists and talk about this as therapists because of how deep it gets into the character's psyche and experiences. And obviously, it gives you opportunities to be silly, but it also inevitably creates a bunch of very damaged individuals. I mean, every single one of these people should be in some form of therapy. Mark should never, ever not be in therapy, ever. In fact,
oh my gosh. What if he like says sometimes, I'm going to take this back to my therapist?
Awesome.
But yeah, so what were your thoughts on A, the process just as a game, but B, with your therapist hat on, if we've got a bit of time just to natter?
I like the collaborative aspect a lot. That felt really, really cool. I would almost want this to be incorporated into other RP, like, if I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, for instance, I like this idea of like, hey guys, we can all help each other with the character creation. I think that'd be really cool.
I mean, there is one game that I really want to also try on this channel called Beyond the Wall, which is a bit more D&D. Sorry.
Oh, I like that art a lot.
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing. I can't remember his name, but he's really good. But that is collaborative as well. Not quite as collaborative as this, but still collaborative. My favorite piece of art by that guy is this one for the One Ring. I love that piece of art.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, just we've created a bunch of people who've got really strong relationships with each other, which is something you don't tend to get in many RPGs, even if you try and create it, because we spent so much time really analyzing who these people are. There's connections there that, okay, so I'm playing a barbarian, you're playing a ranger. We met in a bar once, kind of thing.
Well, so actually with D&D, obviously I do the therapeutic D&D groups. With the therapeutic D&D groups, we have added questions like this.
That's really cool.
we've gone through and collected them from all sorts of different types of RPGs. And there's a book, I think, out there, how to write your character's backstory, an RPG, thing. And so like we've pulled questions from there and put it in our actual like intake packet for the therapeutic GMing. So, and then we go through them together at the table in session 0. If they've pre-built them, usually the adults pre-build, but then we go through it and then they make connections there at session 0. And then the teen group, of course, you can't get teens to do anything outside a group. So we build all of their characters together at the table, and including the world, what's going on with the world, what the quest is, stuff like that. And then we ask these questions like, where did you come from? What does your family look like? Like stuff like that. And then they tend to make connection with other characters during that process. So that's why I added that in there, was because I love it too. Like watching, usually with the teens, like the last campaign, 2 of them ended up wanting to be bards and fairies without knowing that each other wanted to do that. And so they ended up being twins. And so like they built that relationship, who their parents were, where they came from, all that different kind of stuff. So, and then one of them, the most interesting one I thought was, one of the kids said that they were like a android, like a biological android. And then one of the other kids was like, oh, I'm like an inventor, an artificer, like type of thing. Maybe I'm your creator, but you don't know it.
Oh,
and like,
that's cool.
Yeah. And so like they played that out throughout the entire campaign, and then they finally found out and what the fallout was from that, and stuff like that got to be in the story. But it was definitely because we did it at the table together collaboratively that they were able to come up with that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like how it goes out of its way to make sure that these are people who, these aren't perfect people in any way, shape, or form. It's very easy to create idealized characters, paragons of virtue. Hey, PD.
He wants attention.
Yeah. You're talking to that man again. Why aren't you paying attention to me?
Mm-hmm.
But I love that this really goes out of its way to say, actually, no, these guys are far from perfect. They've had really messy lives. I described my friends group of characters as a bunch of beautiful losers, because that's what they are.
Yeah.
And the characters.
It's really cool.
But yeah, I mean, would we use any elements of this? I mean, I'm specific. Obviously, yes, the creating the character relationships, but any elements of that as part of the character creation process, kind of, because this is where it gets kind of, you walk, not walking on eggshells, but you've got to be careful if you're going to walk your client through. Okay, let's kind of traumatize your character. Are there any? How would we go about that without going too far with our clients, for example? Or would we? Or would we just say, yeah, this is a great game for us to play with. We're not actually going to do that part of character creation. We're going to stick to the sunshine and rainbows, and we'll introduce the stuff vicariously later on. I mean, again, no 2 clients are the same. There are some clients who would absolutely thrive with something like this, but any thoughts? I wouldn't play this with a 7-year-old, put it like that.
Yeah, absolutely not. This would be my adults or like my older teens, like who are young adults. They love fucked up characters. I love mess up characters. So I think what I would do while I was building it, if it was a therapy piece, I'd say, okay, let's take some of the stuff that you're working on or some of the stuff that you've gone through. Let's find another way to represent that in the game, not like specifically one for one. So if the parents were abusive, their character shouldn't have abusive parents. They should just be super independent and want to do everything by themselves because they feel like they should. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So I feel like if you are aware very much of what your client has gone through, the trauma they've gone through, some of the problems they've gone through and things like that, you can, I always say you can go for the symptoms and then recreate the symptoms in the story instead of directly recreating the story itself. Does that make sense?
Just specifically Essence. So obviously your character, sorry, your persona, I've got to start calling personas, has ADHD, undiagnosed ADHD, female presenting in the 90s.
Yep.
That is a direct one-to-one correlation. How was that for you? I mean, obviously it's not as traumatic for you as, for example, if you were Mark and we were talking about somebody who watching your crush get splattered. But what was it? Was there anything for you in that element?
Yeah, well, and I guess I guess doing what we do, I'm a little bit more comfortable with knowing that my shit's going into my character. So not that it wouldn't have repercussions and things like that. It definitely would be something we would want to watch to make sure it didn't get too far. But I think like you know, this is what happens with characters, whether we know it's happening or not, is people put their stuff in there. And even if you're the therapist or the person themselves, I've literally had people put stuff in their character that they were like, yeah, this is what I want to happen. This is the backstory. And when we finally hit that backstory, it's like a trauma that they've never like revealed to themselves or others. And it's like, oh crap.
Yeah. The number of times that happens it's alarming, isn't it? It's like, I mean, but at the same time, it's bound to happen. I mean,
maybe it's go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the kind of the art of doing RPG therapy is handling those situations when they come up with. Sorry, Emily, you look like you were about to say something.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what you guys are talking about, and full disclosure, I think I've mentioned it before in the previous recordings that we've done. Just where I'm working right now, we do not have the opportunity to be able to do RPG work within therapy. With that said, though, since those recordings, I've become far more specialized and trained in working with people, specifically with PTSD and complex trauma. That's kind of my bread and butter at this point. And
so you've been bringing a lot of your work into what happened to poor Kelly.
Perhaps. But you know, one thing I've been learning more recently and slowly integrating into my practice is parts work. And I'm hearing a lot of that coming from what you guys discuss within using RPGs with clients. And, you know, you can, I hear you with what you guys are saying with, you know, you wouldn't want someone to create like their complete own trauma, like within this character. And then, okay, here we are, for everyone to see, because that could have its own consequences. But I do wonder if providing the opportunity for certain parts of like that character to come out, maybe. So for example, let's say there's a character where, let's say I am a person who has trauma of maybe I always listened to my parents like screaming in the other room and I felt powerless and it was awful and whatever. Perhaps in the campaign as a GM, I would present the characters, all of them, with the opportunity of like, there is something really awful happening in this other room and it's scary sounding, but you know that there's someone vulnerable in there, whatever. We create the scene. Perhaps what that character, myself in that moment, gets to experience is, do I get to be the person now that I always wish that I could have been? So instead of being that scared kid that's listening to my parents scream in the other room, maybe now I'm the brave, person that steps in and is like, that's not cool. Like, that's really awful. Or maybe on the other hand, I turn to the rest of the party and I'm like, guys, like, this will be over soon. This will pass too. This, and I provide comfort to those around me, right? So providing the opportunity for those parts to come out in certain characters rather than having that be the character, I think could be really, really cool as a GM to integrate into the practice or to the session.
Yeah, because you're talking about like there's the one part that tends to protect. There's the one part that comforts. There's the one part that is the scared little kid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like what would you have wanted in this situation? Like, you've been presented with this before. Like, what would you have wanted? And that could be maybe something you process with that client afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, this happened. Like, what did you think about this?
Yeah, and it could even just be like, oh, they came up to the door and they're listening through the door. You know what I mean? Because somebody is in there that they want to know information about or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be like personal relationships or, you know, something like that. It could literally just be like, okay, like we're spying on these people and we hear this, you know what I mean? Where do we go? You know, what do we do from there? So
yeah, I've been learning more and more about parts work, and it's really powerful. A few times I've used it in session, I'm like, holy moly, like that. So, and I think RPG integration within therapy it really brings out parts of that work. Sorry, I didn't mean to use the same words, but it brings out aspects of that work. It's incredible. It's really incredible. So
yeah, as I say, I mean, I had a lot of fun doing this process. I mean, and I think you two did as well. What I also like about it is, even though it is super in-depth, super interconnected, if Eric wanted to come along and join the game later down the line, it would be very easy to just me sit down with him and ask him about the same bunch of questions, but being as I've got the information from you guys to kind of slot him into that. So purely, I mean, the game, as I say, is very designed towards messing with the characters, you know. And again, baby step. You've got to know your client. You've got to know what your client can handle and what they can't handle. But yeah, was there anything about it that stood out for you in terms of it as a game or as a potential therapeutic intervention? I mean, Kieran Gillen, I would love to reach out to him and talk to him about some of this stuff, because he clearly puts a lot of thought into the mental health side of things. And I mean, I wish I had Kieran's brain. I like to think I'm a creative individual, but Kieran just sees the bigger picture than I can. You know, I believe he's creating a mega dungeon for Die, but he's calling it the meta dungeon, and he's going to have a look through all of RPG history. I wish I had the kind of brain that could come up with that.
It's incredible what people can come up with. Truly not born with that. I was not born with that brain.
I mean, I'm quite proficient at writing sword fights and wars and people and all, but bog standard fiction. To come up with a concept like that, I mean, he also wrote. Sorry, side note. Let me just gush about him for a second. He also wrote a series of comics called Once and Future, which is about King Arthur. The King Arthur myth being that at Britain's darkest hour, King Arthur will return. But the way Kieran spun it was, yeah, what if actually it's Britain's darkest hour because he's returned, and that he's actually some dark demonic force? He's just able to just think like that, and I wish I could. But yeah, is there anything? So Kieran, if you're watching this, get in touch, right? But yeah, was there anything you particularly liked or particularly didn't like about this process, A, as a game, but B, as intervention of some kind?
I like that it's already set that my character has evolved since or persona has evolved. Like I'm an older person, theoretically wiser on certain things, maybe not wiser on other things. But yeah, that's a really cool element, I think, because there's this idea that like, okay, I built who I was and this is who I am. And there's probably a lot in between that's occurred that we can feel free to play with along the way. And I'm curious to see how that plays out within future sessions as well.
It does very specifically say that persona generation never ends. So throughout play, the GM is asking, "Oh yeah, what happened to your character when they went out on that date that one time?" kind of thing.
Oh, that's cool.
But actually, I for a very young, I said I would never play this game with a 7-year-old, but actually, take that back. I mean, the client was 11, but I jerry-rigged some of this process. I mean, I created the idea of that there's a time break. So I said that your character was like this when they were at primary school. Now, X years later, you're at secondary school. Your age. What's happened and how have they changed? And the clients, their parents had got divorced in that time. Bit of a big change, so again, to what Charlene was saying, rather than directly going, oh yeah, so let's play a character whose parents are now divorced. It's just a case of kind of acknowledging that there's a before time and an after time.
Yeah.
And that was quite powerful with that client, actually.
And that can also be its own like form of practiced resilience built into, like, time continues to move on, like no matter how bad this is, like here you are 27 years later, theoretically, at least with this persona. So that could be it's a really cool aspect to the game. I think I'm really interested to see how that plays out.
I know we're running out of time with you, Emily. Do you want us to continue, or do you want to call it there? I've just seen.
I got about 5 more minutes if we want to just wrap up. It's up. Good up to you guys.
How about you, Charlene? Did you have any particular loves, hates?
I mean, it was fun. I do like the questions. Obviously the questions are geared towards, kind of your messed up character, you know what I mean? So like you said, you have to know your client, because a lot of the times some clients would go with this like 100%, like they're like, oh yeah, like, but if they're not ready for that insight yet, I feel like this might be a little bit too much. Or if they're like, maybe you have a client come in and be like, oh, I only have to work on this one thing. You know what I mean? This would be, I think, a little bit too much for that person at that point in time because they don't have that insight. So I feel like you would want to have someone that has a pretty good amount of insight to play a game like this with them in therapy, and the ability to adapt to whatever that insight brings to them as well. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're going to be there along with them, trying to help them cope and things like that. But just making sure that they're at a certain level, I think, of insight and ability to ask for help, or not even like ask, but almost expect it from you as their therapist. Like they trust you to be able to help you through whatever you're going through. I think that's going to be an important aspect if you're going to use a game like this, that there's that trust between the client and the therapist, that whatever you do hit, whether it's on purpose or not, that, you'll pull out if you need to, stop, talk about whatever you need to talk about. And then when you're ready, if we need to change anything about the character, about the story, about anything, we can do that. And we'll go back in and, try again type of thing. So I think is what I would say about if you were going to use it as a therapeutic tool.
One thing I didn't mention, sorry, just to follow up on that, is that the book is very, very big on safety tools.
Oh, that's
so this is one of 3 supplements so far, and every single one of them it has a process called preparing the magic circle. and it asks what kind of what tone of the game. Do you want standard fantasy? Do you want dark fantasy? Do you want dark horror? So it gives you the opportunity there to go, how light and fluffy or not do we want it to be? How are we going to resolve inter-party conflict? Are you allowed to kill each other? And also that dictator role, the one where you force people to feel emotions, that is a horrifying concept. I love it. But it goes, check with the rest of the group to see if they love it as well.
That one I might. That one, what I always say when that comes up is this: like, I check with both parties. I'm like, hey, are you okay with this happening? Do you give consent for that to happen? If not, we will change the narrative. You know what I mean? So, checking beforehand, I think, is a really good, obviously important.
Boundaries in therapy. Wow, who'd have thought?
Yeah, well, and that's with my kids, with that inventor bio android. At one point, the inventor said, I want this character to do this. And I looked at the player and I was like, are you okay with your character doing that? And they were like, no. So they had to, number one, he had to set the boundary that he wasn't comfortable, communicate it, which was not something any of these people were good at, and then resolve the conflict of what the other person wanted to happen and what they were comfortable with happening. So, I mean, it created an immediate therapeutic situation right there, where they had to work through all those aspects. So, if you do leave that in there, you do leave that character in there, number one, checking with everybody first, but also having the rule, okay, if your character wants to do something to someone else, we need to check with the player first to see if that's okay with them.
And I believe you've mentioned it before on this channel, Dan. But then, like, I think also probably the very obvious with what I've heard the two of you say this before, but like making sure a client has the skills to regulate themselves before they even start playing the game. The idea, like, I can bail myself out when I start to feel X. Like, I can use this coping skill I learned in therapy to when I feel angry at another player or when I feel triggered by this thing that happens. Because we wouldn't want to be throwing someone into a game that we know can be a bit more intense if they do not have the skills to regulate themselves within them. Because that's just cruel at that point. So, and unethical. So
Tiny bit.
But this is really cool. I like this game. I want to play again.
Would you want to see how it goes? Do we?
I want to actually play it with my character.
Yeah, me too. I'm like mad that I didn't have the time today to like continue going, because I could have gone and done this for like 8 hours straight. Dead serious.
Hey, okay, well, we'll call it there then, so that you can run off and do anything fun. Do you want any shout outs, any websites, any merch to sell, anything?
Yeah, so Nat 20 Therapy, we do have merch now. We have sweaters and t-shirts and mugs and all sorts of fun stuff, so check that out. Nat 20 Therapy, and we do individual.
The mugs are nice and big. The sweaters are very fluffy, apparently.
They're very nice. They're fleece. The ones I got were fleece lined, so they're very, very soft on the inside.
Nice.
I'm very excited about it. And I actually made white t-shirts because my intern specifically likes to tie-dye things. And so if you get a white t-shirt, you're more than welcome to tie-dye it.
There you go. Oh, that's cool.
Emily, anything from yourself?
My Venmo, if you wish to support me, is Emily dash. I'm just kidding. No, I do not have anything as of yet, just because I work at a community mental health agency. But I do appreciate you guys.
You are the best of us, I think, is is what that means.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So good. Send the good vibes. That's all I want. Send all of them, please.
Well, we'll call that one there then.
Right.
blah 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 blah.
Blah blah.